All right, we're back. And guys, let me tell you, this week, it is all Flamengo. All the time.
It's a massive week for the club, no doubt about it.
We're talking a fiery Fla-Flu derby, the Copa do Brasil, still hanging in the balance. Fans are going to be on the edge of their seats. And you know what? You wouldn't have it any other way, right?
Absolutely not. This is what it's all about. The passion, the drama.
We're diving deep into 3 articles that really get into the nitty-gritty of it all. So if you're as invested in Flamengo's journey as we are, you are in the right place.
And that journey, it's important to remember, it continues with Flamengo sitting 4th in the Brazil round. 51 points on the board.
Not too shabby at all.
Not at all, especially with a game in hand,
With
right?
Botafogo
might be feeling good at the top, but this title race, it's far from over.
Speaking of feeling the heat, this Fla-Flu clash, it's more than just a game, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. The atmosphere is going to be electric. Bragging rights are on the line, and both teams will be desperate for those 3 points.
Although, gotta say, this international break, it hasn't done us any favors, has it?
It's definitely thrown a wrench into things.
Gerson, Polgar, De La Cruz, all out for the Fluminense match.
Yeah, that's a big blow to the midfield, no doubt. Especially against a rival like Fluminense.
It makes you wonder what Felipe Luis is thinking, right of?
The guy's a tactical genius, but this is a tough one.
He's got to have one eye on that Copa do Brasil semifinal second leg against Corinthians. It's just days after the Fluminense match.
That 1-0 win in the first leg gives them a little breathing room, but...
Corinthians at home, different beast altogether, trust me.
So is he sacrificing the derby to prioritize the cup? Or is there a master plan we haven't seen yet?
It'll be fascinating to see how he approaches it. But one thing's for sure, he's got some tough decisions to make.
No kidding. I mean, with all those key players out, who steps up? We've got Plata and Arrascaeta back from international duty, but are they even close to match fit? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Those international games take a lot out of you. I wouldn't be surprised if they start on the bench.
So who are we looking at? Who's going to be tasked with taming the tricolor?
Well, you got to think. Alan, Alcaraz, Michael... they'll be crucial.
A lot of responsibility on their shoulders.
No doubt about it. And there are rumors, just rumors, mind you, that we might see Fabricio Bruno back in the back line, potentially even slotting Leo Ortiz into midfield.
Whoa, okay, hold on a second. Leo Ortiz in midfield. Now that's interesting. Isn't that pushing his versatility a bit far? I mean, the guy's a rock at the back, but midfield's a whole different ballgame.
It's a bold move for sure. But if you think about it, Leo's passing range is phenomenal, and his defensive instincts are second to none. Putting him in midfield would allow him to break up Fluminense's attacks, dictate the tempo, even launch counterattacks.
So he's like a Swiss Army knife in cleats. You need him to do something, he can do it.
That's one way to put it. But seriously, it would be a masterstroke from Felipe Luis if he can pull it off.
Well, it sounds like Felipe Luis is going to need to pull a rabbit out of his hat to get a result in this one, especially with the opposition we're up against. Fluminense, they may be struggling in the table at 16th, but...
Don't let that league position fool you. They're a dangerous side, especially in a derby. They'll be fired up for this one, believe me.
And let's be honest, when these two teams meet, form goes out the window, right?
Absolutely. Anything can happen in a Fla-Flu.
Exactly. So we've talked about Flamengo's hurdles, but what about Fluminense's? What kind of challenges are they facing coming into this match?
Well, for starters, they've got a pretty abysmal record against Flamengo in recent times. We're talking only 2 wins in their last 20 encounters. That's got to play on their minds, right?
Talk about a mental hurdle. And it's not just the history they're up against, right? They've got their own injury woes to contend with.
Right. They'll be without Cerna, he's still sidelined. And to make matters worse, they'll be missing both Kino and Marcelo through suspension.
Ouch. You're taking a bite out of any team's chances when you lose that kind of talent.
You're telling me. It's a huge blow for them, especially in a match as important as this one.
So with all these missing pieces, it sounds like Fluminense are really up against it.
They are, no doubt. But you can't write them off. They've still got some quality players, and in a derby, well, we all know anything can happen.
That's the beauty of it all, isn't it? That unpredictability.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this fixture so special. It's more than just a game. It's a clash of styles, of cultures, of histories. It's a battle for bragging rights in one of the most passionate football cities on the planet. Buckle up, because this is going to be one hell of a ride.
But hey, even with all those absences, Fluminense might catch a break, right? Didn't Arias just get back from international duty?
He did, yeah. That's a big plus for them. The question mark is over Ignacio, actually.
Oh, right. He's been battling that injury, hasn't he?
Yep, if he's fit enough to start, that's huge for their defense. Can't underestimate how crucial he is to that back line.
Fingers crossed for them, then. Though, gotta say, part of the excitement of these derbies, every S that anything could happen, right?
Oh, 100%.
Both teams adjusting on the fly, digging deep, which actually reminds me, we can't forget about Flamengo's own returning heroes, Pedro, Bruno Henrique. Any updates on their recoveries? The fans are dying to know.
Well, get ready for some good news. Pedro and Bruno Henrique are close, really close, to being fully fit again.
Ooh, that's music to Flamengo fans' ears. Just in time, too, eh?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Having them back, even if it's not from the start, brings a different dimension to the attack. Experience, goal-scoring threat, they change the game.
Like night and day. But it's funny because it makes me think of something Mauro Cesar Pereira said recently about Flamengo needing consistency, not just flashes of brilliance.
Right. He's got a point there. They've had these amazing moments, but stringing them together, that's been the challenge.
It's like, are they going to be fireworks one week, then fizzle out the next? What's the secret sauce they need?
Partly tactical, I'd say. But also that chemistry on the pitch. Getting these key guys integrated smoothly takes time.
Yeah.
Can't just throw them in and expect miracles.
I feel like we've been burned before, hoping for those instant miracles.
Haven't we all? But think back to last season, that insane comeback against Gremio, down 2 goals, then bang, Bruno Henrique scores in the dying minutes to win it. That's the spirit they need now.
Ugh, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Those moments, that's what derby days are all about.
No doubt. And tactically, it'll be fascinating. Fluminense, even weekend, they'll be up for it. Might even see this as their chance to really disrupt Flamengo's flow.
Total underdog mentality, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to lose, let's go for it.
Exactly, which can be dangerous. Never underestimate that. But on the flip side, Flamengo playing at home, crowd behind them, that psychological advantage is real.
Oh man, I'm already stressed and it's only Wednesday. So for our listeners out there, those who are living and breathing every moment of this, what should they be really keyed in on during the Fla-Flu? What are the make or break points?
Midfield battle, for one. With Flamengo's absences, how they control that area, especially early on, could be telling. Then, obviously, if and when Pedro and Bruno Henrique come on, how do they link up? Fluminense side, Arias is the danger man, that creativity.
And we can't forget the big if, Ignacio fit or not.
Huge factor. If he's there, solidifies them defensively. If not, well, could be a long night.
Talk about a nail-biter. And as if that wasn't enough pressure lurking in the back of everyone's minds, is that Copa do Brazil's second leg?
Oh, absolutely. Looms large. That Corinthians match is going to be another level of intensity again.
Speaking of Corinthians, any more news on the Hugo Souza situation? Remember last we discussed, Flamengo set that pretty high price tag for him, yeah?
They did. And honestly, I respect it. They know Hugo's got potential, not letting him go cheap. Now it's up to Corinthians. Do they bite? That's a big gamble for them.
High risk, high reward. Classic transfer window drama. But bringing it back to Flamengo overall, this week feels pivotal, doesn't it?
Massive. If they come out of this with good results, momentum is huge. But stumble? Well, the pressure ramps up quickly. Real test of their mentality, that's for sure.
It's like they're walking a tightrope, isn't it? Every step matters. And us fans, we're down here holding our breath.
That's a perfect way to put it. But that's the beauty of it, right? The tension, the passion. Wouldn't trade it for the world.
Absolutely not. But hey, for our listener who's now equally stressed out, what defines success for Flamengo this week? Is it just wins at all costs, or is there a bigger picture strategy at play?
Ooh, that's the million-dollar question.
It really is. Is it about emptying the tank now or pacing themselves for the long haul? Fascinating stuff.
Definitely keeps you guessing. But hey, that's Flamengo for you, right? Always keeping us on our toes.
Never a dull moment. Although, speaking of keeping us guessing, before we wrap up, I got to ask about something you mentioned earlier. This idea of Leo Ortiz potentially playing midfield.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Honestly, the more I think about it, the more intriguing it gets. But realistically, do you see that actually happening?
It's hard to say. It really is. Felipe Luis, he's known for springing surprises, so I wouldn't completely rule it out, but it's a gamble, right? A big one.
For sure. I mean, Leo's a beast in defense, but midfield, that's a whole different animal.
Exactly. And against a team like Fluminense, who are known for their midfield dominance, well, they can backfire. But then again, it could just as easily give Flamengo the edge they need. It's a tough one to call.
See, this is what I love about football. The tactics, the mind games, it's like one giant chess match.
You got it.
Yeah.
And with a manager like Felipe Luis, You know he's always thinking several moves ahead.
All right. So no definitive answer on the Leo Ortiz situation, but you've got us all thinking, that's for sure. And I guess at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for, right? A little bit of mystery, a lot of passion, and hopefully some Flamengo magic along the way.
You said it. That's what it's all about.
For sure. Well, folks, there you have it. Another week, another roller coaster of emotions for Flamengo fans. But hey, isn't that what we signed up for?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Me neither. Until next time, keep the faith, and may your passion for the Mengon burn bright.